Hi guys, so let's look at our corrections for Thursday. So we took them from Mind Action. It's page 5, exercise number 2. So we are going to do number B, and then also going to do number H. So these are exponents questions. What's so special about exponents is that when we deal with exponents, we deal with something called a prime base. Now, if you come and check 6 is not a prime number. 10 is not a prime number. 4 is not a prime number. 15 is not a prime number, meaning that we'll have to change them. Now, if we check on number H, 4 is not a prime number, but 2, it's a prime number. Now, what's the difference between my two questions here? This one here, it deals with something called the multiplication, meaning that we have one term. So this is one thing, and then this is also one thing. Here, you are dealing with two terms because you have a plus in between. Now, if you have a plus and a minus, or you're dealing with more than one term, we have to do what we call to split the base. So meaning that we'll have to come and say, let's write this part on its own. So you'll have 2 to the power of 2x multiplied by, and then you will also write this to the base 2. So you'll have 2 to the power minus 1. Let's just remember that. Now, this principle only applies if you're dealing with more than one term. Keep that in mind. Now, what is the first step in both questions? The first step is going to be the same. We have to change what is not prime base to be a prime base. So let's do that. Now, usually I will say, let's go and represent that we want to change this, and then we'll put it inside the bracket, and then we'll write the index exactly the way it is. So we have n plus 2. So this is going to be n plus 2. Okay, let's use a different color. So we have n plus 2. This is the n plus 2, meaning that the 6 is the thing that we want to change as a prime base. They say multiply. I can use a dot to present multiplication. And then I will have this index, which is n minus 2, all over. I will have this index, which is n, multiplied by. Here, this is where I'm going to put my 15, and then the index is n minus 2. Now, if I come to this side, there's only one thing that I have to change, is this 4. So I will have, here I'm going to put my 4, which is to the power of x, plus. Now, remember, guys, what did I say? We have to split this. So I will write it as 2 to the power of 2x multiplied by 2 to the power minus 1 because of this addition. Keep that in mind. If there was no addition, I wasn't going to split it. I will come to the denominator and say, let's also split this. It's going to be written as 2 to the power of 2x multiplied by 2 to the power minus 1. Now, here we're going to put, we want to put this 6 as a prime base. Now, how do we do that? Let's just remind each other. We go to our calculator, and then we'll press 6, and then we'll say equals to, then we'll say shift fact. If you say 6 shift fact, it says the 6 can be written as a 2 multiplied by a 3. So this is written in another way as a prime product. If we do that with 10, we'll go and say, okay, it's 10. Press equals to first, guys, and then we say shift, and then we go to fact. It says this is going to be written as 2 multiplied by a 5. And then the next thing that we'll do, we'll say, let's write 4. Using our calculator again, it's going to be 2 to the power of 2. 15 is going to be 3 multiplied by 5. Now that we have that, we can come and say this side, we're going to have 2 to the power of 2. Now, as I said, guys, these two questions, they're different because the other one is a multiplication. The other one is an addition. The way we approach them here, it's going to be different also. If it's a multiplication, then we'll go and raise a power to the furthest power. Now, if they didn't write any index, there's a 1 here, there's a 1 here, there's a 1 here, there's a 1 here, there's a 1 here. Here we can see there's a 2, we don't have to change that, so there's a 1 here. What we'll then do is to say this one multiplied by this one multiplied by this one. And then it will give us 2 to the power of n plus 2 multiplied by 3 to the power of n plus 2 multiplied by, if we do that with this one, it's this multiplied by this, it says it's going to be written as 2 to the power of n minus 2 multiplied by 5 to the power of n minus 2. If we go to the denominator, it says this is going to be written as 2 to the power of 2n multiplied by 3 to the power of n minus 2 multiplied by 5 to the power of n minus 2. Now we only have one thing here. So we can then say, okay, but now this one multiplied by this one, it's going to give us 2 to the power of 2x plus 2 to the power of 2x multiplied by 2 to the power of minus 1. This is going to be written all over 2 to the power of 2x multiplied by 2 to the power minus 1. So as you can see, guys, our questions are more or less the same. There's nothing that much different between the two of them. But as we move on, we'll start to see something different. Now, what is the next step then? On this one here, the next thing that we're going to do is to say, go and look at the 2's. So we'll say there's a 2 here, there's a 2 here, and then there's a 2 here. And then we'll use the laws of exponents. What does the law of exponents say? It says that if we have the powers with the same base, when we multiply, we add. So we'll have 2 to the power of n plus 2. And then we'll have this because we are adding it. So it's going to be plus this whole thing. So we'll have plus n minus 2. But since this one is on the denominator, we are subtracting. So we'll say this 2 is positive. When it goes up, it's going to become minus 2n. Now, the next thing that we can have then, it's going to be our 3. Come and check our 3. So this is 3 number 1. This is 3 number 2. And then we'll say that we have 3 to the power of n plus 2. We don't have any 3 on the numerator. So we'll come and take this one. Since it's positive, if we take it to the numerator, it becomes minus n. Come and take this positive minus 2. If it goes up, it becomes plus 2. Multiplied by 5. Now, guys, this is interesting here. We have 5 to the power of n minus 2. We have 5 to the power of n minus 2. So we should look for those things. This one and this one, they will divide each other, and then we'll be left with 1 all over 1. So we can then deal with these two. If we check here, it says we have n and an n, which gives us 2n minus a 2. So these are going to cancel each other. We have 2 minus a 2, which is going to give us 2 to the power of 0 multiplied by, you have a positive n and a negative n, and then this is going to be 3 to the power of 4. Now, any number to the power of 0, if we check our calculator, it's 1 multiplied by 81. Then this is going to be 81 as our answer. Now, let's just confirm that. So we can say 2 to the power of 0. This is going to be multiplied by 3 to the power of 4. And then if we say equals to, as you can see, our answer is going to be 81. Okay, we are done with this one. Now, what's the difference between the two? What did we do here? We used the laws of exponents because we do have laws of multiplication and division. Here, we have an addition. Remember, it's a plus, not a multiplication. So what then do you do if there's a plus? You look for something which is common between term number 1 and term number 2. Now, what's something that appears on term number 1 and it appears on term number 2? Let's look at that. It seems as if we have 2 to the power of 2x. So we'll write that and say we have 2 to the power of 2x. Now, if we take this 2 to the power of 2x, we are going to be left with 1 plus, if we take this 2 to the power of 2x here, we are left with 1 multiplied by 2 to the power minus 1. So it's going to be 2 to the power minus 1. And then this is going to be all over 2 to the power of 2x. Now, instead of using the dot, I'm going to use brackets so that we can see when we divide. So it's 2 to the power minus 1. Now, as you can see, the 2 to the power of x and 2 to the power of x, they can divide each other here. Now, if those two divide each other, then we can then go and use our calculator and say if we have a fraction, so we'll put the fraction and then we'll have 1 plus 2 to the power of minus 1 all over 2 to the power of minus 1. And then we say equals to, it says that our answer should be 3. And then we'll come and write our 3 here. Okay, guys, that's how we approach a multiplication and an addition. That will be it for our lesson. Bye.